Welcome to GSAP Utility Methods Part 2, using mapRanger to translate mouse distance from center to scale values. So today we're going to continue our exploration of the mapRanger utils function and build out this demo where the arrow is going to get larger as my mouse approaches the center from either side. And of course it's going to shrink as I move away. And the way that this works is that we're going to be calculating the distance x from center and mapping that to a scale range. And again, I want to remind you that it's simplistic demos like this that we build out that are going to help us later on as we build out more complicated implementations. So here what you'll see is that the further my mouse gets from center, the quicker the elements will scroll. So towards the center, we're going very slow. Towards the edges, we go very fast. And we're also changing direction of the scrolling based on which side of the demo my mouse is in, all right? So we're gonna build up slowly over the next few lessons so that you can do stuff like this and totally understand how it works. Today we're going to build off the file that we used in the previous lesson where the scale X and scale Y were directly related to the mouse position in relation to the top left-hand corner. So as I move down to the lower right, we got bigger on both the X and Y axis. And of course we could squish and squash all we wanted, all right? Now today we're going to focus on adjusting the scale based on the mouse's distance from center. And we're only going to be tracking along the x-axis. So in the HTML, I'm not going to be concerned with the mouse Y position, but we are going to be tracking the distance. So I'm going to call this distance x, and we're going to give it an ID of distance x. And then in the JavaScript, we're going to pretty much get rid of everything that we have here and start fresh so that all we're going to be doing is tracking the mouse X position. Now, in order to know the mouse position's distance from the center, I need to know the X position of the center. Well, my whole demo is 600 pixels wide, so that would make the center 300. And I've already snuck in this little variable here called center and set it equal to 300 so that we can use it in our calculations. And so figuring out my mouse's distance from center is going to be just a simple means of subtraction. If I know that right now my mouse X is 170 and the center is 300, I can just do a calculation of 300 minus 170, and that's going to give me a distance of 130 pixels. Likewise, if my mouse is on the other side and I have a mouse X of, let's say, 360, I can still take the center value of 300, subtract the 360, and that's going to give me a distance of -60. Now, although that number is negative, I'm just really interested in the absolute value of 60 pixels. So let's go ahead and calculate the distance on every mouse move. Inside my mouse move function here, I'm going to set up a distance variable, and I'm going to set it equal to my center value, which we know is 300, minus the current event.offsetX. And in order to see what that is, we're just going to set our distance x elements text content equal to distance. Now when I move the mouse around, we'll be getting both of those values output. And if I go all the way to the left, you're going to see that our distance x is going to be 300 pixels away from the center. And that number is going to get smaller as I approach the center, and it should get all the way down to 0 when I'm right on that line there. Because 300 minus 300 gives us 0, and then as we move to the right, you're going to see that we have those negative values, all right? Now to be clear, we're getting a negative value because the mouse X is greater than 300. So if I take 300 and subtract 507, that's what gives me the -207. But I'm not interested in it being negative. I just need to know that distance of 207. So what I can do in my distance calculation is wrap it inside of math.absolute, which is just ABS, and that's going to make it a positive number always. And now you'll see that when we're on the right side, we no longer have negative numbers, all right? The numbers are always positive regardless of where the mouse is in relationship to the center, all right? Further away, the bigger the numbers. Now, similar to the previous exercise, we're getting these really big distance x values that we need to map to a smaller scale range. Right now, the distance x is 278, and that would not work well as a scale. That arrow would be massive. So now we're going to tap into our mapRange function, and I'm going to take my existing distance value and I'm going to set it equal to whatever gsap.utils.mapRange gives us when we pass in our input range and output range. So for the input, the lowest number we're going to get is 0 when the mouse is right on the center line. And the biggest value we can get is that 300 value, or our center variable. And let's just say that the lowest scale value we want, the outmin is going to be 1 and the outmax is going to be 4. Again, similar to last time. And we're going to pass in our existing distance, which is going to be possibly a very large number. And in order to apply this mapped distance value to the scale x and scale y, we're just going to tap into our quick setters again, just like last time, by passing the distance into both our set scale x and set scale y quick setters. Now we should see something a little bit different, all right? You'll see that the arrow is certainly changing size, and it seems like it's also changing size based on my distance from center. But you'll notice that we're starting very big on the left, and we're shrinking as we go to the right, okay? And as we go from center all the way to the right, the scale is getting bigger. You'll notice now that my distance x is 300. So that is the maximum input value that we have, and it's going to be giving us the maximum output value of 4 for the scale. However, when I started this out, I said that I wanted the arrow to get larger as our distance gets closer to 0 in the middle here. Well, what's fun about the mapRange utility is that the outmin value doesn't have to be smaller than the outmax value. In fact, I can swap these around so that this number here is going to be 4 for the minimum output and 1 for the maximum output. So think of it this way. Numbers closer to 0 are going to give me values closer to 4. Numbers closer to the 300 of the center that we're using for the maximum input are going to map to numbers that are closer to 1 in the output range. So now what you'll see is when I'm very far away, the arrow is small, and when I get closer, it gets bigger, okay? So I wanted to highlight this very cool feature of mapRange. Again, the minimum output does not have to be smaller than the maximum output. So you can feel free to play with those values. So again, just a little twist on what we did last time, where instead of translating the direct mouse x position to a scale value, we are going to be calculating the distance from center first, and then mapping it to a range of scale values that has a larger output min than its output max. So as always, be sure to study the code, make sure you know what each line does, and best yet, type it all out for yourself and maybe play around with the values and get creative and think of different ways that you can use mapRange. Throughout the series, we'll be using it quite a bit, so hopefully a little bit of practice and experimentation will make all of this second nature for you. Keep up the great work. Hey everybody, have you heard the news about GSAP? It's now GSAP for everyone. All plugins are free. Draw SVG, Split Text, Scroll Smoother, Inertia, Physics 2D, all the stuff that you love about GSAP is now free. No more per user costs, recurring payments, file sharing concerns, private repositories, licensing confusion, no restrictions. Use whatever you want. And to celebrate, I'm offering all my training for only $49. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but this is amazing. You have to check out GSAP if you've ever wanted to learn it. Now is the time. The great folks at Webflow and GreenSock are giving you everything, all right? No more premium fees, no more memberships. Just use all their wonderful tools, and it's amazing. So check it out, and I hope to celebrate more with you. See you in the club.